In a distant village, the villagers were living in fear as they were constantly experiencing threats from the nearby strong villages. They faced political instability and chaos. The farmers go to their farms every day with the fear of not returning back to their families as they were constantly attacked by their enemies. The king and the rulers have been working so hard to make peace and restore peace back to the community, but to no avail. Their opponents only want to eliminate the entire village. In the affluent part of the village lived Angela and her husband Willow. They were the richest people in the village who have nothing to do with the common people. They look down at people and treat everyone unkindly. Even when life was so difficult for their family members, they wouldn't budge or provide any assistance, even though they had the means to do so. So throughout the village, they have the reputation of being wicked. It has been noticed by so many that no matter how many times their enemies attack, they always leave the rich couple unharmed, even if they raided the house next door. This drew suspicions among the people, but no one would dare say anything. Unknown to everyone, Angela and her husband Willow were a part of a conspiracy to usurp the throne. Willow, who had always believed that the village would develop faster under the rule of a wealthy king, made treaty with the neighboring kingdoms to cause political instability, which will lead to the people dethroning the current king. That explains why, no matter how many times the Marauder bands attack, not even a finger of the Willows is hurt. Angela, who has been married for some years, discovered that she was pregnant with her first child. The couple were delighted and threw a big party. They invited only the elite in their village and neighboring village. Now that they are expecting a baby, the pressure to take over the throne intensified. Willow has a target to meet, that is, to make sure he becomes king before their child turns 2, so he can be the next prince. After a few months, the villagers experienced the most unexpected crisis. Their enemies attacked without any sign, sweeping through the entire village, leaving devastation in its wake. The village that woke up in tranquil was now a scene of chaos, with homes destroyed and lives shattered. Angela, in the final stages of her pregnancy, found herself caught in the midst of the calamity. On the day of the attack, she had gone into labor and was taken to the hospital in the community. As soon as the baby was born, news got to the hospital that there was an attack in the village. While everyone was panicking and worrying about their families, Angela was unbothered. Just when they thought everything had calmed down, men came running into the hospital, asking everyone to run away. The commander said that they should leave the village and run into the forest. While he was yet speaking, the enemies were seen trooping to their direction with so much rage. Seeing the seriousness of the warning, everyone was displaced. The nurse, taking care of Angela's newborn, quickly wrapped the baby, looking for a safe place to keep the baby. In that moment, she saw flames coming out from one of the rooms. She immediately took the baby and ran towards the outskirts of the village. Angela also managed to get out of the building and hid herself behind the trees, while groaning in pain and at the same time crying over her baby. The damage that was done this time in the village was great. Many lost their homes. Those who were able to escape had no plans or no home to come back to. The nurse, who ran away with the baby, managed to reach a safe village. She pleaded with the villagers for help, and she got a nice place to stay with an old, kind woman. The woman took very good care of them that night. The next nut to crack, was how to care for the baby. Thus, Tannia has never been a mother before, neither did she know how to be one. Seeing how helpless they are, the old woman volunteered to take care of them, and she offered her home to them, saying that she would also need company. A few years had passed. The old woman also passed away during this time. Tannia heard the news that peace had been restored to her village. Seeing how much Eva needed a parent in her life, she decided it was time to go look for her parents and hand her over back to them. They started their journey back to the village. In their village, Willow succeeded in becoming the king. They treated the people worse than before. They made their burden harder, demanded excessive tax, and punished them for every little relapse. Angela became very bitter after the attack, as she thought her baby had died. She mourned every day, but there was no one to comfort her. She diverted her annoyance to the people around her, her servants, and the palace guards. So, the entire villagers were walking on eggshells. When Tannia and Eva arrived at the village, she noticed how everything has changed, how their once cheerful villagers now hide in a shell. She regretted her decision to return, so she decided to complete her mission here before returning. She asked about the Willows and was informed that they are now the new king. She also heard about how wicked and arrogant he and the queen are. She became worried because she doesn't know how to approach them or if they will believe her story. But after much deliberation, she took Eva to the palace gate, gave her a note, and instructed her to ask to see the queen. She shouldn't say anything until she was presented before the queen. Then hand the note over to the queen. Tannia hid behind the walls and watched as things will turn out. Little Eva approached the gate and knocked as hard as tiny hands could carry. A hefty guard opened the gate, looked at her, and asked what she wanted. Eva carefully followed the instructions and only asked to see the queen, that she had a very important message to pass. The guard gave a scornful look and banged the gate. She persistently knocked till the guard could no longer bear the disturbance. He reopened the gate and screamed at her to go away. In the middle of the chaos, the queen drove towards the gate. She saw the drama, stopped, and without asking any question, she requested that they throw the little girl far away from the palace gates. On seeing how Eva was being mishandled, Tannia rushed out of her hiding and told Eva to run after the queen while she distracted the guards. During the process of chasing after the moving vehicle, she fell down and hit her head on a stone. The queen saw everything, but she didn't even blink an eye. Eva was taken to the hospital, where she received treatment for many days. On her discharge, Tannia realized that it would be pointless trying to reach the king and the queen again. So she took the girl and they went back to the village they lived for the last few years. A couple days later, the guard handed over a note to the queen. She asked who sent it, but the guards told her that it was found with the little girl from the other day. So, what business does this have to do with me? She scornfully asked. The content may really interest you, my queen, the guard said. The queen asked that the note be read. Tannia provided every tiny detail that nothing was missing out, and as soon as she heard the message, she became breathless and blacked out, that she needed support from the guards. The king ordered that they comb the entire kingdom until they find his daughter and the young lady who was taking care of her. The guards quickly dispersed and searched through the entire village, asking questions about their whereabouts. But since they had no name to the face, and they barely even saw Tannia, they couldn't provide a clear description of who they were looking for, making it impossible for them to find them. They did this for several months until it became clear that they were no longer in the village. Tannia got married to a kind, wealthy man who took in Eva as his own daughter. They all lived peacefully thereafter. The queen regretted her actions every single day, always wishing she could turn the hands of time. Her marriage was also falling apart as her husband never failed to remind her of losing their daughter a second time. Every single day of her life, the saying, "If I had known, I would have acted differently," lived rent-free in her head. This is stories my mother told me. Time to take a look at some words we've learned in this story. The first word on my list today is the word chaos. Chaos. This word means complete disorder or confusion. The village was in chaos. The second word is barge. Barge. This word means to make or cause someone or something to make the slightest movement. For example, the queue in the bank hasn't budged. It could also mean to change an opinion. He wouldn't budge on his decision. The next word on my list today is the word usurp. Usurp. This word means to take a position of power or importance illegally or by force. Richard usurped the throne. And then we've got treaty. Treaty. This word means a contract in writing between two or more political authorities. And then we have relapse. This word means to slip or fall back into a former worse state. And finally, we've got the word disperse. This word means to distribute or spread over a wide area, or cause to go in different directions. The crowd dispersed. The guards dispersed. I hope you learned something new in today's story. Let me know in the comment section below.
If you enjoyed watching this video, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends as these help us grow. Thank you and see you in our next story. Bye!